Hey, this is Rob Doyle, and I just want to talk to you for a sec about Poll Everywhere. This is something that you will add to your Google Slides presentations to get immediate feedback from students. You're going to go to polleverywhere.com and click Get Started, where you're going to need to create your own free account. I'm just going to log into my account right now so you can see what it looks like on my end. All right, so as that's loading, let me just kind of show you how Poll Everywhere looks as you're making a Google Slides presentation. So anyway, once I've added Poll Everywhere, then it's going to create this button for me on my Google Slides presentations where I can insert new polls. You're looking at one of the polls that I've already created. This one is, what is the science of map making? There are 3 choices for my students. So when I hit this slide in my presentation, my students see this poll and they're directed to either a website where they can vote or they can text a certain number to vote. I usually just want them to go to the website, and so I actually link it right here so that they can just click on this as they're looking at my Google Slides presentations and then go directly to that website. And then as they vote, we're seeing bars next to all these words for what percentage of the students are voting for each of these choices. This is just one type of poll you can make, but I do plenty of different types of polls just to show you a couple others on the same presentation. In this one I inserted an image and they're still doing multiple choice. This one is a clickable image, and so I might tell them, click on 20 degrees north, 35 degrees west, and they're going to click on this map and you'll see pins drop in the map. And so there are a lot of options, and I'm going to show you a few different types. And to do that, I'm just going to open up this new presentation and create a few new polls. So over here, I'm going to go Poll Everywhere, New Activity. And let's say we're going to start with just multiple choice. Are you having a good day? And I'm just going to give them the 2 choices of yes and no. Once I do that, I click Insert, and it's going to make a brand new slide in this presentation. Again, when I get to the slide in the presentation, the students are going to be directed to this poll, and we'll be able to see their results real time. Other options, I'm going to go Poll Everywhere, New Activity, and let's do word cloud. I'm going to say describe your day and insert. And so this is open-ended. Students can type in whatever they want to, and you're going to see a word cloud pop up on the screen where the most common words are the biggest. A couple other basic options here: new activity, Q&A. I think that this is awesome, especially when you're trying to maybe get questions for guest speakers. I might say ask a question to our guest speaker. And so the way that this Q&A works, if you've ever been to Reddit, this allows you to upvote and downvote things. So in this case, our students would be proposing questions to a guest speaker, and then they'd be able to vote on their peers' questions so that the most popular questions end up on the top and the least popular on the bottom. And therefore, if we're pressed for time, we usually just kind of stick to the top questions. A couple other things. We have clickable image. And so, for instance, like what I was doing with the geographic grid, where I was asking them to click on latitude and longitude, you can do the same kind of thing like with a world map and insert a world map. I can say click on Vietnam. And when the students get to this slide, they're going to see the world map, and they click wherever they think Vietnam is, and you see these pins dropped into all the different locations where the students are clicking. I'm going to go new activity, and we'll do clickable image, but we can add our own image here. I've got one of Lance pulled up right here. Click on his forehead. And we can insert that Lance image, and they can click somewhere on Lance. I know that's weird. I'm going to do one that's maybe a little more normal with him, where I'm going to go multiple choice, but I'm going to say, who is this? And I'm going to come over here and add that picture of Lance. And I'm going to say Lance Gropel or Robin Ryan. See if they know the difference between their principal and their superintendent. And so again, you'd be able to see these bars of how many people you think say Lance Gropel versus Robin Ryan. And there are plenty of things I'm not even showing you. As you can see, we have all these different types of polls. There's more over here. And from my end, what I see when I log into my account is I've got currently 186 different polls that I use in my slide presentations. And after students respond, instead of saying no responses, you'd be able to click on this and see their responses if you want to see their responses. I always, highlight all of them, and I go over here and clear them at the end of every class so that when the new class comes in, I can use the same polls and they don't see the previous class's responses in there. Another thing you might want to be wary of is that, and I'm going to go back to this one, you might not want your students to see how everybody else is voting because it might give them some bias as they vote. So whenever this comes up on the screen, you as the administrator, you have some options up here where you can click on Show Results. And so if you click on Show Results or unclick on Show Results, you'll make it so that nobody can see any of the results, and then you just click on that button, and then all the results pop up. So sometimes I like to do that just so that students aren't swayed by their classmates' votes. But anyway, I think this is a really cool tool. It's great for formative assessment built into presentations just to make sure that they're learning what you expect them to learn. And it's also a great way to source some questions, discussion topics from them. So I highly recommend that you add this to your Google Slides presentations.